As the clock strikes midnight in Seoul, the city's vibrant pulse slows to a whisper, a symphony of fading echoes that blankets the urban sprawl in a hush. Neon signs flicker faintly, their electric hues softening against the obsidian skyline, casting a gentle glow on the Han River's rippling surface. The distant hum of traffic dwindles into a lullaby of urban silence, punctuated only by the occasional rustle of leaves in a late-night breeze. In a secluded corner of this sprawling metropolis, hidden behind the unassuming facade of a nondescript building, Min Yoongi, better known to the world as Suga of BTS, sits alone, enveloped in the dim, amber glow of a studio that transcends its role as a workspace, transforming into a sacred refuge for a restless soul. The air carries the faint, woody scent of cedarwood incense, a ritual he's adopted to soothe his turbulent mind, blending seamlessly with the subtle, bitter tang of cold coffee abandoned on his desk, its surface etched with faint coffee rings like silent witnesses to his late-night vigils. A single lamp, its bulb encased in a weathered shade, casts long, dancing shadows across the room, illuminating a space cluttered with musical relics. A worn notebook spilling with cryptic lyrics and jagged sketches. A microphone stand tilted at a precarious angle, as if leaning into his genius. And a sleek keyboard that gleams like a beacon in the night, its keys worn smooth by countless midnight musings. Outside, the world knows him as the sharp-tongued rapper, the production maestro behind BTS's global anthems. Dynamite's infectious pop, Butter's silky groove, Black Swan's haunting depth, the August D who spits fire with unrelenting precision, his verses cutting through the noise of a billion streaming plays. But here, as the night deepens and the city sleeps, a different Suga emerges. A man who trades the thunderous beats of hip-hop for the gentle caress of piano keys, unveiling a secret playlist that defies expectation, shatters stereotypes, and touches the soul with an intimacy few ever witness. This is no ordinary ritual. It's a clandestine journey into the heart of a genius, a nightly pilgrimage where the rapper becomes a dreamer and the studio becomes a cathedral of sound. The room itself is a haven of controlled chaos, a labyrinth of creativity that mirrors Yoongi's multifaceted mind. The walls, draped in soundproof foam, like the padded interior of a cocoon, are adorned with a mosaic of post-it notes, some yellowed with age, others fresh with ink, scribbled with half-formed ideas, abandoned rhymes, and cryptic annotations only he can decipher. A tangle of cables coils across the floor like serpents basking in the dark, their ends disappearing into a maze of equipment. A mixing board with blinking lights, a monitor flickering with waveforms, a turntable dusted with the ghosts of past beats. In the corner, a small potted plant wilts slightly, its leaves curling inward as if bowing to the weight of his sleepless dedication, while a framed photo of Daegu's rolling hills, his hometown's verdant embrace, hangs crookedly on the wall, a tether to his past that sways with every breath. A worn leather jacket, tossed carelessly over a chair, carries the faint scent of cigarette smoke from his younger days, a relic of the rebel who once roamed Daegu's streets. Yoongi leans back in his chair, the leather creaking under his weight like a sigh, his fingers tracing the frayed edges of a notebook that's seen too many sleepless nights, its pages a tapestry of ink, crossed out lines, smudged words, fragments of rhymes that feel like shards of his soul. His eyes, heavy with the weight of a day spent crafting perfection, overseeing BE's soulful layers, refining Butter's buttery beats, mentoring Jungkook through a vocal take, flicker with a quiet, smouldering intensity as he reaches for his headphones. The world expects him to dive into hip-hop's raw energy, tracks by Nas or Eminem, perhaps a revisit to his own D2 mixtape with its gritty Hegum flow, its sirens wailing like a call to battle, tonight, he chooses a different path, a road less traveled by the public eye. With a deliberate tap on his laptop, the room fills with the delicate opening notes of Kiss the Rain by Yiruma, a classical piano piece that flows like a gentle stream, its melody weaving through the silence like a thread of silver, each note a droplet of serenity in the chaos of his mind. Who would suspect that a rapper known for his biting flow and relentless work ethic, a man who turned August D's rage into a global anthem, finds solace in such tender sounds? Yet, this is Suga's hidden ritual, a playlist he's curated with the precision of a composer, revealed to the world in fleeting, tantalizing moments, like his 2021 Melon Station appearance on Big Hit Music Record, where he shared his pre-sleep sanctuary with a stunned audience. As the music swells, his shoulders relax, the tension of leading BTS to global domination. Billboard #1s that shattered records, Grammy nominations that silenced doubters, sold-out stadiums that echoed with armies' roar, easing with each note. Kiss the Rain isn't just a song, it's a confession, a nod to his roots in Daegu, where music first whispered to him as a teenager hunched over a borrowed keyboard in a cramped basement. A love letter to the piano that's been his companion through triumphs and torments. The melody dances in the air, each chord a memory of late-night trainee sessions where hunger gnawed at his stomach, of a shoulder injury from a 2012 delivery job crash that still aches on cold nights, of a boy who dreamed against all odds, his fingers bleeding on those early keys. The transition to Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence by Ryuichi Sakamoto shifts the mood, its melancholic tones painting the room in shades of introspection, a palette of shadows and light that mirrors his soul. Yoongi closes his eyes, the memory of his September 2022 Instagram reel flashing briefly, his fingers dancing over piano keys in a medley that blended this very track with his own Seesaw, a video that amassed 18 million views and left fans breathless with its raw vulnerability. Sakamoto, a legend he admired deeply, left an indelible mark on him. Their collaboration on Snooze, one of the late composer's final works, etched into his D-Day tour performances, where the audience wept as his fingers traced the keys. The song's gentle rise and fall mirror the ebb and flow of his own emotions, pride in BTS's Dynamite breaking streaming records, the ache of a shoulder that forced him to relearn his craft, the quiet pride of producing Blue and Grey for his band. This isn't the Suga who raps about shadows in Interlude, Shadow with its haunting auto-tune. This is Yoongi, the man who finds peace in the shadows of night, letting Sakamoto's genius guide him to a place of calm. The notes linger, a bridge between the stage's roar and the studio's silence, a secret he guards with a faint, enigmatic smile. As the playlist unfolds, Chihiro's Waltz by Joe Hisaishi enters, its dreamlike quality transporting him to a world of cinematic wonder, a realm where Studio Ghibli's magic meets his own storytelling prowess. The piece, a tribute to Spirited Away's young protagonist Chihiro, carries a bittersweet edge, much like the narratives he weaves into his lyrics. The last's orchestral crescendo. Dear my friends, raw regret over a lost bond. Yoongi's mind drifts to the children he's met on tour, their wide eyes reflecting the same hope he once held as a struggling teen in Daegu. Sneaking into studios with borrowed equipment, his hands trembling with ambition. This song, a rendition by Elizabeth Bright from his 2021 Sleep playlist, feels like a memory frozen in time, a reminder of innocence amid the chaos of fame, an echo of the boy who once watched Spirited Away on a cracked TV screen. He adjusts his headphones, the soft rhythm syncing with his breath, a stark contrast to the high-energy stages where he commands thousands with Run BTS's rapid-fire verses. Here, he's not performing, he's healing, letting the music stitch together the fragments of a day spent pushing boundaries. Rehearsals with Jungkook's golden voice, feedback sessions with Namjoon's poetic precision, the endless quest for perfection that leaves him raw. Next comes A Flower Is Not a Flower, another Sakamoto gem. Its serene melody, stretching across continents as it has in TV shows worldwide, a sound that's danced through Japanese dramas and global airwaves. Yoongi leans forward, his fingers tapping lightly on the desk, a habit from his production days when he layered beats for Black Swan's ethereal despair. This track, part of his bedtime ritual, speaks to his global perspective. BTS's music resonates in Tokyo's Shibuya Crossing, New York's Times Square, London's O2 Arena. Yet here he is, grounding himself with a piece that transcends borders, a universal language of peace. The song's quiet power mirrors his own journey. From a delivery boy hit by a car in Seoul, his body bruised but his spirit unbroken, to a global icon whose proof anthology redefined K-pop's legacy. Fans might never guess this side of him, but it's this duality, rapper by day, pianist soul by night, that fuels his genius. He recalls a fan letter read on Weverse, a young artist in Brazil inspired by his vulnerability in Interlude Shadow, and the weight of that responsibility settles softly, carried by the music's gentle flow, a silent pact to keep creating. The final track, Romance by Yuki Kuramoto, closes the playlist with a neo-noir elegance, its notes echoing the tension of a bittersweet life's cinematic climax, a scene of betrayal and redemption that resonates with his own story. Yoongi sits back, the studio now a cocoon of sound, the city outside a distant memory swallowed by the night. This song, shared in his 2021 Melon Station reveal, carries the weight of his reflective nature, a man who's faced depression as he openly shared in a 2021 Rolling Stone interview, and turned it into art with Interlude Shadow's confessional rawness. The melody lingers, a bridge between his past struggles, trainee rejections that bruised his ego, financial strain that tested his resolve, and present triumphs, D-Days sold-out arenas, Snooze's tearful tributes. As the last note fades, he exhales, the silence a canvas for the next day's creation, a secret he guards until the night demands its release. The room grows still, the incense smoke curling upward in delicate spirals, a silent witness to a man who finds strength in softness, a genius who turns vulnerability into power. But why this playlist? The answer lies in Suga's evolution, a metamorphosis as intricate as the music he crafts. His hip-hop roots, forged in the gritty streets of Daegu, demanded intensity. Tracks like August D with its James Brown sample, a nod to his funk influences, or Ough with its aggressive edge that silenced critics. Yet, the night calls for something different, a counterbalance to the chaos of fame that threatens to consume him. In interviews, he's hinted at cycles of negative emotions, likening them to cold weather that returns unpredictably, a metaphor he shared during a 2022 Weverse Live. Classical piano, with its structured beauty and emotional depth, becomes his anchor, a sanctuary where the storm of expectation, Billboard charts, Army's love, industry pressure, fades into a gentle hum. His love for the instrument, evident since First Love, where he sang of its tormenting allure with a voice cracked by memory, and his piano performances on the D-Day tour, where unplugged Seesaw and Snooze moved audiences to tears, reveals a man who balances fire with serenity. A 2023 Atlantic article captured this duality during his solo concerts, where the crowd's silence spoke louder than their cheers, proving his artistry spans genres with a genius few can rival. This secret playlist isn't just music, It's a window into Jungi's soul, a portal to the man behind the mic. Fans who've seen him play Seesaw unplugged, his fingers trembling with emotion, or watched his tearful snooze rendition with Sakamoto's memory flickering on a pre-show screen, courtesy of a heartfelt tribute video, know he's more than a beatmaker. He's a storyteller, using notes where words falter, a poet whose silence sings. The surprise lies in the contrast. The man who produced Telepathy's funky groove, a dance floor anthem, unwinds with Yoruma's gentle touch, a lullaby for a weary heart. It's a revelation that deepens his mystique, proving his heart beats for more than just rap, a symphony of resilience, a masterpiece of duality. On X, Army buzzes with theories. Is he working on a classical album to rival Beethoven? Did Sakamoto's spirit inspire a new opus? Their excitement a testament to his influence, their hashtags trending worldwide. As dawn creeps over Seoul, painting the sky with strokes of gold and rose, Jungi steps onto his balcony, the notebook still clutched in his hand, the playlist's echoes reverberating in his mind like a lingering refrain. The city awakens, vendors unfurling their stalls with the clatter of metal, the distant rumble of a subway train slicing through the morning, the soft chatter of early risers weaving a tapestry of life. But he carries the night's peace with him, a treasure forged in piano keys. The first rays of sunlight catch the scars on his knuckles, a roadmap of his delivery job days, and he smiles faintly, a rare softness breaking through his stoic facade. This piece, sculpted from the delicate notes of his playlist, is a secret shared with the world through his music, a gift wrapped in vulnerability, delivered with genius. Army, ever curious, might wonder what other surprises hide in his studio. Perhaps a new track, inspired by Kuramoto's elegant tension, or a collaboration with a classical maestro like Hans Zimmer, whose time he's praised in a casual Weaver's comment. The mystery fuels their love, their posts lighting up social media with anticipation. What's next for Suga's Nights, they ask, their voices a chorus of hope, their purple light sticks a beacon of devotion. Jungi returns inside, the notebook open to a blank page, its emptiness a challenge, a canvas for the night's inspiration. The playlist has sparked something, a melody that hums in his chest, a lyric that dances on his tongue, a feeling that tugs at his heart. He sits at the keyboard, fingers hovering over the keys like a conductor poised before a symphony, and begins to play. The notes are tentative at first, a whisper of sound, but they grow bolder, weaving a tapestry of classical grace and hip-hop grit, a sound only Suga could conjure. This is where Interlude, Shadow was born, its raw confession birthed in the dead of night, where the last took shape, its orchestral swell a cry from the depths, and where tonight's inspiration might bloom, a hybrid of Sakamoto's melancholy and his own defiant spirit. The studio fills with sound, a fusion that defies genre, a masterpiece in the making. For Army, the journey continues, each note a clue, each melody a treasure in the enigma that is Min Jungi. The night holds its secrets, but the dawn promises more, a legacy built on surprises, resilience, and the quiet power of a playlist that heals. As the music flows, Jungi's thoughts drift to his bandmates, a brotherhood forged in struggle and triumph. He imagines Namjoon's thoughtful leadership, poring over lyrics with a poet's eye, Hoseok's infectious energy, turning rehearsals into dance battles, Jimin's graceful dance, a silent poetry that complements his beats. Each has their own way of unwinding. Jin cooking midnight ramen, Tai Young sketching by moonlight, Jungkook gaming into the dawn. But this is his, a sanctuary of sound, a refuge from the storm of fame that threatens to engulf him. He recalls a moment from In the Soup, where the group laughed over late-night snacks, the crackling fire casting shadows on their faces, and wonders if they'd tease him for his soft playlist. Perhaps Jin would hum along to Yiruma with a dramatic flair, or Taehyung suggest a classical duet to rival his own crooning. The thought brings a chuckle, a rare lightness in his usually stoic demeanor, a sound that echoes softly in the empty room. This playlist isn't just for him, it's for them, for Army, for the world he's touched with his art. A shared heartbeat pulsing through every note. The hours pass, the city's rhythm syncing with his own, a metronome of life that guides his hands. He experiments with a chord progression, blending romance's neo-noir tension with a hip-hop beat, a potential hook for a future track that could redefine his solo era. Fans might hear it one day, a surprise dropped during a Weverse live, sparking a frenzy of analysis. Is this Kuramoto's influence woven into Agust-D's rage? A new chapter for D-Day? Their passion driving his creativity. Yoongi thrives on this connection, the silent dialogue between artist and audience, a bond forged in music and strengthened by trust. His playlist, once a secret guarded in the night, becomes a bridge, a shared space where his vulnerability meets their support, where his scars become their strength. Outside, the sunrise paints the Han River in gold, a mirror to the light within him, its surface shimmering with the promise of a new day. Yoongi steps back from the keyboard, satisfied, the notebook now filled with sketches, chords, lyrics, a rhythm that pulses with life. The playlist has done its work, calmed his mind, inspired his soul, prepared him for another day of leading BTS through the chaos of fame. This is his ritual, his genius, his gift, a nightly odyssey that transforms pain into poetry, silence into song. Army, keep watching, keep listening. The night holds more surprises, and Suga's piano will lead the way, its keys unlocking a future where challenges deepen. Scars tell stories, and the light shines brighter than ever. The journey's far from over, and with each midnight melody, a new chapter unfolds, a testament to a man whose soul sings in the quiet hours. As the morning light filters through the studio's blinds, Yoongi glances at the wilted plant, a pang of guilt stirring within him. He waters it gently, a small act of care that mirrors his own need for nurturing, and smiles at the thought of Army's devotion. Fans who've turned his music into a movement. He imagines a young fan in Manila studying to Chihiro's waltz, or a dreamer in Paris, finding hope in Kiss the Rain, their stories intertwining with his own. This playlist, once a personal escape, has become a global lullaby, a thread connecting millions. He picks up his phone, scrolling through X, where fans debate his next move. Will he drop a piano solo? Is Sakamoto's legacy his next muse? Their enthusiasm a fuel for his fire. He types a cryptic reply. Night holds secrets. Stay tuned and watches as the notifications explode. A digital storm of love. The day ahead looms. Meetings with Hybe, rehearsals with the Maknae line, a call with RM about a new project. But for now, he savors the calm. He replays, "A flower is not a flower," letting its serenity wash over him, and begins to hum, a melody taking shape. Perhaps it's the seed of a new track, a fusion of Sakamoto's elegance and his own gritty edge, a surprise for Army's next chapter. The studio, once a battleground, becomes a cradle of creation, and Yoongi, the sleepless architect, stands at its heart. This is his legacy, a playlist that heals, a genius that inspires, a night that never ends. As the last note of Suga's secret playlist fades into the dawn, the magic of his genius lingers, a beacon of inspiration that lights up our world. But this is just the beginning of the enigma that is Min Yoongi, a story of resilience, creativity, and surprises yet to unfold. If you've been swept away by the tender keys of Kiss the Rain or the haunting beauty of Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence, don't let the journey end here. Smash that subscribe button to stay tuned for more chapters of Suga's soulful nights, where every melody hides a secret and every silence tells a tale. Hit the like button if this playlist touched your heart, and let's send those purple flames soaring across the globe. But the story doesn't stop with us. We want to hear from you. Drop your wildest theories in the comments below. What do you think Suga's next midnight creation will be? Did Chihiro's waltz move you to tears? Or is romance your new obsession? Share your deepest emotions, your loudest cheers, and your personal connections to his music. Your voice fuels this channel and ignites our passion to bring you more. Share this video with your army fam and let's spread the love together. Keep the purple light alive, keep the Suga love strong, and join us for the next chapter, where the nights grow deeper, the surprises bolder, and the genius of Min Yoongi shines ever brighter. See you in the comments, army. Let's rise with every note.